Hello, this is a little message. For one, spoilers for Black Adam, and for the second one, which is coming up right now, rest in peace, my old Michael Myers figure, which is this. Anyways, on to the review. Hello, good evening. I am back after doing the NECA Part 7 Jason review, and today I'm going to be doing one on the DC Multiverse Black Adam movie, Black Adam. More specifically, the heroic costume as according to the box as soon as I get to the box. Speaking of which, how ironic, the box. So here's the figure. So here we go. But we care about the box a little bit more. But here it is. With these new movie boxes, it says Black Adam, it has like the movie logo down here, and then the name of the figure, and then at the back, from the side, Black Adam, on the other side, Black Adam, top, Black Adam, on the bottom. As you see there, that's why it's referred to the hero costume, because the barcode says it. Even though there's possibly going to be some spoilers for Black Adam, even though that is in reality not the costume. The costume you see is in the statue of the McFarlane Toys figure, which is like the other figure, which I'll put up on screen right now. And would you look at that? The camera started focusing on The Rock's beautiful face. Anyway, here's The Rock's face and the promotional art of the figure itself. Anyways, that's the deal with the box. Now let's move on to the figure itself. Start off with, of course, the usual, the paint and the sculpt. Now, for McFarlane Toys, obviously their painting and sculpting is really top-notch, and that's something, in my opinion, I think they're really good at. Spider-Criminal, I am so sorry. But, anyways, I do think the sculpt on this figure is pretty nice, and it also shows in some of the detail. Now, start with the likeness. The likeness to The Rock is really good. Better than anything from like DC Multiverse or anything from the movies. And I'll show you that in a comparison with Henry Cavill, which, spoiler alert, he's in the movie. Yes, I spoiled that for you. I'm sorry, but I'll make that part of the thing. Spoilers for Black Adam. But anyways, you can see his face. It's right there. It's nicely sculpted, nicely painted. He's not even dirt-eyed, and that's a big plus. Although, in my opinion, I feel like this figure needs a lot more muscular bulk because, it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and yet this figure looks a little nimble. The arms, let's start with of course, there's the neck, but look at the body. There's the obvious Black Adam symbol or Shazam symbol. And however, not unlike the car where it makes it look weathered, here it looks so clean all of a sudden. And as well as you could see, there's a lot of engravings and detail on it to make it look like it was damaged or made it look awesome. You can even see some lines down the suit all the way to the back. We can see his butt, which is really flat all of a sudden. Yes, that's going to be in the sus compilation. But look at the patterns, the detail. Hopefully my camera yeah, look at that. It's detailed all out. You can see those arms. They're nicely sculpted as well. Along with some brown on one of them. And, of course, the gauntlets. However, I feel like just like the Batman figures, I feel like this figure is also sort of based off promotional art because in the movie, there's no sort of gauntlet here for Black Adam on his right arm, you could say. I don't know. But regardless, it's nicely well done and nicely weathered too. But I may go over and actually start weathering the figure more. Maybe make this chest more, weathered like in the card. But let's move on to the legs. Of course, there's a belt here. It's nicely well done. And, of course, there's a nice golden detail to make it look weathered and look like it's been bound, like, in prison for some, not prison, but in some, like, dark place in 1,000 years or something like that. But as you can see, there's a nice detail on the legs. Lines go out. And it overall meshes really well with the crotch piece. And it overall meshes, again, really well. Same with the gauntlet, the shins, and the boots. Very nicely done, very nicely detailed, not gonna lie. Now, for accessories, this guy, of course, comes with a card and the stand. Now, I'll show you the back of the card right now. Pause to read it right here. And then we also have here the lightning effects. Now, I think in some comic runs, if I'm right, he has yellow lightning effects. He has yellow lightning. But in the movie, he mostly has blue lightning, which is cool, not gonna lie. But the issue with that is it looks really odd when, he has yellow on his chest. It's yellow, and then all of a sudden it's blue. It makes it kind of not really mesh well with the costume. Now, as I said before, this is a really good figure, not gonna lie. And especially with detail. However, the main complaint I have is the fact that he's not muscular enough. The head sculpt is good. Maybe not there with like WWE, Mattel figures, but it's really good for like a McFarlane figure. Is just, I really, really wish they actually made him a little bit more muscular. Because, Black Adam was muscular as all hell in that movie. Because it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, of course. Now let's move on to the figure's articulation and stop rambling about that. Posability, this is actually arguably the best DC Multiverse figure in terms of posability. Probably in some ways. So, I say in some ways because it's been a while. So, he has a ball joint at the head. He can look up that far and look, down that far. He can tilt and rotate side to side, and is he even doing the meme? A little bit. He has the, of course, butterfly joints, but not as much as, let's say, Marvel Legends. It's more of a rotator cuff. 360, in and out, like so. Bicep swivel, a double bend, and instead of the usual, McFarlane joints, he actually has a swivel and a hinge joint, which I'll admit is something new. It's nice having those joints as well. And then he actually has a diaphragm joint. I know DC Multiverse figures have some. And of course, all DC Multiverse figures can mostly move back. So like if you want to get him to a flying pose, that'd be really nice. But most of all, he could actually kind of crunch. If you could sort of force it down, not break it, it looks nice. And then he also has a proper waist swivel. Something I usually kind of never see on DC Multiverse figures. Could be wrong though. And then he has a thigh swivel. Finally, I feel like I know some McFarlane figures have some, but it's either intended or like intended for a different purpose, aka Drifter Bruce Wayne, or not really like most DC Multiverse figures. They wouldn't have something like this. But of course he has a double jointed knee, and he also has down, up, pivot, toe bend. So posability is really nice. It is so well done for this figure. It's practically awesome. And overall, I think articulation, this makes it one of the most fun DC Multiverse figures. Now let's move on to size comparison. And spoiler alert, I don't have anything with him. I have no other figures for him to compare other than maybe a few NECA figures, but I don't want to do that. Comparison. This figure stands at a rough 7 1/4 possibly. Alright, and of course I have nothing really to compare him with other than here's another movie that was released like literally a week before Black Adam released. Michael Myers. Halloween Ends, even though this is the Halloween Kills figure. Really hope there's actually going to be a Halloween Ends figure. I'm interested in how that would work. Alright, anyways, let's start off with the final thoughts. So overall, for final thoughts on this figure, this is a really good figure. Like, already, I know maybe more accessories would have been awesome, maybe some alternate hands, and of course the usual, why would McFarlane give like 2 variants of this figure, even though or actually 3, even though there should only just be in reality 1, just 1 figure with all the accessories included, and maybe more musculature, but musculature, build, rather than this sort of skinny, but still muscular build. But other than that, no, like, shaming or anything like that. I'm just being critical on how the figure looks. But in my opinion, this is one of the best DC Multiverse figures. Now, in terms of figure of the year, possibly. It could be pretty low, though, like maybe top 10 at best. It's fun. Yes, that's the best way to describe it. It's fun just like the movie. It's a lot of fun to pose. It sort of scales well with Legends. And I'll do that with a size comparison. And it's just overall it's just an overall fun figure. And that's the best way to describe it. Just fun, fun, fun. Good, a decent, even though with a pretty, just only 2 lighting effects, fine by me. I like the articulation. I like the paint and sculpt. And overall, if this figure was downsized, more accessories, this would be a really good figure. So out of 10, I give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Anyways, that was it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time on the next video. Goodbye. Enjoy the photo gallery.